Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to Brownlow Books. I recently read River Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shearer. First off, I did technically receive this from the publisher in exchange for an honest review, and you know me, I will be honest. So, that's out of the way. It's not an advanced copy. It's just an actual regular run-of-the-mill copy, so, didn't have to read it by a certain time or anything, so I feel okay about it. Okay, second, I don't know how to do this without spoilers for this book, so spoiler warning. Okay, so River Sing Me Home. We are following Rachel. Rachel is enslaved on a plantation in... Fuck, I didn't look... I forget where. Somewhere in the Caribbean, you know? There's a map in this book. Hello. She starts... Yeah, Barbados. I was right. Why did I second guess myself? She is enslaved on a plantation in Barbados, a British colony at the time. And then, the Emancipation Act of 1834, and Britain goes, hey, we're ending slavery. And all the plantation owners went, cool, you're our apprentices for 6 years now. That. Do people know that? Probably not. Same shit, different name. Okay. So, Rachel is like, nah, fuck this. And takes off in the middle of the night to escape so she can go look for her 5 adult children who have been sold off from her through the years. So we have Mary Grace, Micah, Thomas Augustus, Cherry Jane, and Mercy that she's looking for. So 2 sons, 3 daughters. There's a lot that I like about this book. And there's some things I don't like. So we'll start with the don't like things, which are mostly problems of not story, but technicals. So it is a debut. And because it is a debut, I feel like it's got the problems that are I'm telling you things, not showing you things. There's a bit of a pacing issue I find where some parts are really long and other parts that should be longer are short, and parts that are long should be short, short should be long, and somewhere in between all the rest of it, right? there's a few issues where I'm like, that was resolved so quickly, and other ones where I'm like, this should not take this long. So it's got that kind of back and forth to it where it's a little like that. Some things are a little too convenient. You know how things just work out magically for people? And you're like, nothing is that easy in life? Kind of like that. It's just a little too easy. It's a little too convenient that this specific thing happened at this specific time, you know? It's not to the point of a magical realism kind of thing where it's just oh yeah, this could... it's a realistically written novel in that it does not have magic. It's also, for me, it's a little too linear. I want to weave me through the story, but it's very much, I do this, so I can go do this, so I can go do this, so we go do this. And that kind of goes back into the showing, or the telling, not showing. It's just very much this person's thinking this way, so we're going to do this. And it's just we're going. Okay. I mean, you're trying to find your 5 children sold off to other plantations and shit. So, yeah, you gotta fucking go. But it was just a little too straight of a storyline. That kind of made it feel a little almost YA-like for me. It was very much not a YA book, but it did feel a little YA in terms of how it's written, the narrative of it. I don't know how to explain fully that I think it's more YA than adult, but it is very much an adult narrative, with the horrors of slavery, okay? Keep that in mind. It's got a beautiful cover. Yeah, things I like. Beautiful cover. Had a map. It seems very well researched. From what I understand, Eleanor actually went to the Caribbean, went to all these places, searched her own heritage and such. She's British by way of the Caribbean, or their grandparents, I believe it was. So, it seems very well researched. It's very thought out and pointed of like how each child ends up. And what I really appreciate about how each child ends up is that each child ends up differently. Like each has their own distinct kind of like life that they are living. This is how it is. This is what happened. Sometimes you don't get to know what happened. But like, you know, she has all these different children, and all these different children are from different fathers, because, hi. So, the way it kind of goes together, where each child fills a specific kind of role in what you would expect of a formerly enslaved or currently enslaved or etc. Everyone kind of gets their own little way about it, and that's good. Yeah, and not good. Not giving more away than that. Leaving it at that. That's left. That's nope. So, I loved reading it. Okay? There was a handful of people in reviews that were just like shitting all over it, but like the things they were shitting all over it for are either A, the things I've already told you about, or B, well, she changed the Creole language. And I'm like, yeah, because we're fucking reading it in English. And she even has a note of that, like, I've looked at this language, I've researched this language, like, I'm gonna write it in a manner that we can all understand it. And I'm like, good, you're not the first fucking person to do that. Why are people shitting on her for it? Fucking white people. Yeah. I had no problem with the language in this book. I mean, sometimes, the very rare instance, there was like a sentence that would feel weird, where it was almost like a caricature of a formerly enslaved woman. But at the same time, it was fairly consistent in the way that she talked. It was just every once in a while, it was just like something kind of like, what? It's not horrible. You get used to someone, they change, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed finding out about the children, about the life on the plantation, about all the people she's meeting along the way. I loved all the people she met along the way. Like, this is an adventure kind of book. Like, the description of it, you know, she's going to find her children. Okay. But, like, it is very close to an adventure. I'm trying to, like, think of something else that, it reminds me of, but I just... Oh! It reminds me of Washington Black. By Essia Dugan. It reminds me of Washington Black. Where it's like, you start on a plantation in Barbados, and then you're going. You are going other places. Except, you know, in Washington Black, it's not really his choice that he's going most of these places, whereas in this book, it is Rachel's choice that she is going to these places. I mean, slightly. She is looking for her children who were taken there, so, like, a little give or take there, right? But yeah, I mean, I never found it a chore to read. I was upset with it. My husband walked in and he's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, ah! Yeah. Lot of feelings about one of these children, a little bit more than the rest of these children. But, like, yes. So, how do I do this without giving it all away? Yeah. I want you to read it. I enjoyed it a lot. I want you to read it. It was published in January 2023. I'm writing it now, March 2024. It's good. I want you to pick it up. Just the like the wildness that we get sometimes in this book, or like the description of like the town or the city that they're in. It's not, I don't know how to It's not like perfectly fleshed out around you, like you see every little detail, but like you get the feeling that you are wandering these places with her. Like there's very good descriptiveness of like, this is looking like this, and this has this like weird creepy thing that happens, and like the colors and the smells and like the people. It's just, it works together really well. I really enjoyed it without giving you like so much that you're bogged down, you know? Because I find that's a problem sometimes. Too much description? Yeah. But yeah, like it's, I don't know. Someone said it was described as literary fiction. I'm like, that is literally anything written, okay? Is this a little more on the easy side? I guess so. It's not the horrors of humanity crying every single page kind of thing. This is a very specific story that we are following. It is not a difficult story. It is how we're doing this. It is going. We're going to enjoy it while also feeling things and learning something. Because I bet most people don't know that the Emancipation Act of 1834 was kind of not going through in the Caribbean. Right. So, I really enjoyed it. Because it was given to me, I have actually rated it. I tend to rate things when they're given to me because that's kind of what's expected to me to give me the book, you know? So I actually rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to say that once more. I really enjoyed it. It was just this lovely adventure. Though, like, it doesn't need to have more depth than it has. It is what it is. You don't want every book to be the fucking same. I don't know. I don't understand these people who complain about these kind of things. Okay. Read the book. It's a good book, okay? I've enjoyed it. I think other people are going to enjoy it. It has almost 22,000 ratings on Goodreads, okay? People are reading the book. It's coming out to a 4.02 star, which is good. You can't get that many people to agree that much stuff, okay? So, like, people are enjoying reading it. From what I read in one of the comments, this might be one of those, like, morning show book club books. Maybe that's why it's gotten so much, but, like, I do want people to read it. I think people will get something out of it. And look how pretty it is. And it has a map. Come on. Don't we all love maps? Are we not all still that 8-year-old child who's got a book with a map in it and a little, like, ribbon bookmark? Come on. Come on. All right. Recommend, absolutely. Even though they gave it to me, I recommend it on my own, okay? It took a while for me to read it, so that was bad because I've enjoyed it so much. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you around next time.